Hi, my loves. Happy Three Things Thursday. I want to come on to talk about self-sabotage. It's something that is so common no matter who you are. I mean, it happens to me because I'm human too, right? And I want you guys to win. I want you to win. I want you to move the needle forward in your business so that you can be doing the thing you love, that you're so passionate about, and that this is really about you magnetizing your soulmate clients and monetizing on your calling. And if you are stuck in self-sabotage, then it compounds. And I don't want that for you. Now, caveat is you need to want to win and succeed, whatever success feels and looks like for you. And you need to believe in yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. So today I want to come on and help you give some practical action steps to help you move forward. Please save this video. You will definitely want to keep playing this every time you are finding yourself in the self-sabotaging pattern. Okay, so the very first step, I'm going to bring in the practical strategies. So from my psychology, my neuroscience background, I'm also going to bring in the woo, okay? Because you guys all know I'm so woo. And you cannot be woo without the practical action, all right? That needs to be the grounding. So I'm bringing the masculine and the feminine energy here. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, so number one, actually I'm going to step back. Number one is being really clear. The first stage of change is awareness, right? So being really clear, what does it even look like when you're self-sabotaging? And most of us can know that right away in terms of a general. So I'm going to get you to zoom in to the micro level and just get really quiet inside and just notice what is a general behavior, and then what is the very first thought. It starts with a thought that will cue you and then trigger that pattern of self-sabotage. So I wrote a whole list here, you guys. All right, and this is not all of it. Oh my gosh, that's not all of it, okay? But here, I'm gonna get you to really reflect on what sounds familiar, what resonates. And by the way, there is no judgment, no shame. Please, you may notice that will come up. And just notice it. You don't need to go into it. You don't need to dive into the shame. You don't need to keep beating yourself up. You're already doing that. All right, so put it aside and come into just being curious. You cannot be judgmental and curious at the same time. So what's your flavor of self-sabotage? All right, so let's go down the list. Avoidance, confusion, overthinking, aggression and hurt. So this usually comes in relationships. All right. So have you been in? Hi guys, I see two people here. I can't see who it is though. So say hello. And aggression and hurt. So if you're in a relationship, do you sabotage your relationships? And you don't even try to, but it happens. And I mean, I've been in relationships where it's going really good, and I'm talking romantic and friendships, right? It's like this deep connection, and all of a sudden, all right. So does that happen for you, or do you do that? Okay, giving everything away. Do you give your services away? When you receive money, do you immediately give it away? You know, people who win the lottery, most people within a year are back to where they started before the lottery or in worse situation. All right? That's all mindset. And do you compare yourself? You feel like you don't measure up. Are you sabotaging by playing small? You're hiding, and you know you are. You know you can play a bigger game, but the fear is really loud. Perfectionism, which comes in, another word to look at that is, or another concept is black and white thinking, all or nothing thinking. Then you get paralyzed. Hey, Deanne, thanks for coming on, love, and thank you for your comments. I will speak directly to you. And another one is overeating. Do you eat foods that actually take you out? Hi, Allison. Hi, Alexis. Okay. So are you eating, I can personally relate to this. In the past, I would eat foods that would literally take me out and zone me out. So now that was my excuse not to move forward. Being sick. Sick is, okay, I know I'm going to trigger some people when I go through this. Being sick is a choice. Holy shit. That's right. Being sick is a choice. All right. And I have learned that. I have seen it with my very own eyes and be a witness to other people continue to be, we'll say, victims to their illness or to being sick. It's a choice. Okay. I know that's a really big one. I'm not going to go into that today, but I know it is a choice. Inconsistency. Are you guys, if you're an entrepreneur, where in your life are you inconsistent? And where do you need to be consistent, right? Inconsistency kills success. The thinking of, I can't do this. I don't know how. I already know that. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the money. All right. All of these are ways in how we self-sabotage. And I know this is going to trigger you. I know this is going to trigger some of you guys. All right. I am a truth teller. I'm being bold right now because that's part of my brand, right? I'm bold. And I know that some of you are going to really have a hard time hearing what I'm saying. And that's okay. All right. I just invite you to stay open to looking at this. Maybe you're not ready to look at it because it's scary, but avoidance doesn't solve the issue. It only compounds it. Avoidance doesn't solve an issue. It only compounds it. All right, so self-awareness to your specific thought is really important. Okay, step number 2, once you identify what is that thought, what is that belief, really on a deeper level, it's a belief, right? And if we look at anything in life, everything is neutral until we put meaning to it. And how do we put meaning to it? Based on our belief system, which was formed before the age of 8. So a lot of stuff is in our unconscious and is on a cellular level. So even though you're consciously telling yourself, I want more clients, I want more money, I want to have more money so I can have experiences I want a laptop lifestyle, I want whatever it is that you want. It's like we consciously want it, but then unconsciously there will be some thoughts that will sabotage that will be like, you're not worthy. No, money is, rich people are greedy. Money is dirty, right? And so you don't deserve money. Like we hear these unconscious thoughts and we grew up with them. They could be past generational. It could be past life. Like we can get really woo right here. Okay. So it's really important to clear those. But on a psychological level, good news is if we just stay clinical here, right? It's neuroplasticity. Your brain can change. You can decide. You decide that I am going to live differently right here, right now. I decide that I'm going to stop self-sabotaging. I decide that when my saboteur, because we all have that card, we all have a victim card, we all have a saboteur card, shows up, I decide I will face it. I decide I will conquer it. Okay. And that's warrior mentality. So ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Like, why do I go into this self-sabotaging pattern? What is this really about? So it could be fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being more visible, fear of being seen because that means people are going to judge me. So I'm fearful of that. What will my family, what will my friends think? I'm not good enough. So be very clear. What are you actually hiding? Your self-sabotage, confusion, overthinking, perfectionism, all those things are just hiding a deeper core belief. It's a symptom. So then it's about how do you want to go into relationship with yourself instead? You decide. You get to decide. Now start to think about somebody you admire their lifestyle, admire how they show up in their life, you admire how they show up in their business. And I want you to start being an observer and going, how are they? How do they think? How do they show up in their life? How do they behave? As much as you can see. I mean, if you personally know the person, ask them questions. Just be like, I so admire you. I so want to understand how is it that you have the success that you desire, because your lifestyle is something that I really desire, right? And here's the thing, you have to want it bad enough. You have to want it more than anyone else, all right? Because no one else is going to change you but you. And you can have supporters, you can have all the cheerleaders, you can be immersed in the environment, but if you don't believe in yourself, then that doesn't manifest. Manifesting only happens when your conscious brain and your unconscious brain, which is back here, matches. And you can also, here's another thing, you can actually manifest something, but now to sustain it, you have to be vibrationally matching what it is that you're consciously believing. So on an unconscious level, you must be vibrationally matching. And that does take inner work. That takes inner work. There's no way to get around it. You can't fake it till you make it. I hate that phrase. You can't fake anything, But what you can do, here's what you can do, is you get really clear. And this is why meditation works and why the top successful people in the world, they meditate. And I know some of you will be like, yeah, but meditation doesn't work. Like, I don't know how to do that. That's a block. Everyone can find a way to meditate. It doesn't have to be sitting there and oming. It could be going out for a walk, doing a meditation. What the whole point of meditation is having an observer hat and being clear in your mind, being really still in your mind, in your body, connecting with your soul. We are all here we're all souls having human being experience. Before you came on to earth, before you were born, your soul, you have a soul contract. That's an accountability level. At the highest level, there's a soul accountability. Your soul decided, I'm going to come into this earth with this purpose. How many of us take our purpose to the grave and don't ever live it out? How many of us do that? So many. And the thing that people on their deathbeds say is they regret. They regret not doing the things that they really want to do, saying the things that they really want to say, and it's not about, then no one regrets how much money, or no one even says the best thing, the most successful thing I had was how much money I made. No, it's about how you're showing up in your life and what you do and what you decide to do with that money. We want more money because of the experiences money can bring for us, so resources, all that, right? So that we can raise the vibrations of the world. You guys are here because you're spiritual, heart-driven entrepreneurs, and you want to change the world through your work, in your craft, in your art, whatever that is, right? And so this is about visualizing. Every single day, visualize yourself as that next level version, as the big vision dream, you guys. There's psychology studies that show that they took, I can't remember, I just remember it was basketball players, and they took studies where they had one team practice every single day to shoot hoops. Okay. And then the other team, no practice time at all. No physical practice to shoot hoops, but they had to visualize themselves. They had to see themselves shooting the hoops every single day. Okay. That's meditation right there. That's visualization. That's staying still. That's getting focused. That's getting zoned in. And here's the thing. This is how we work. Your body cannot tell the difference between thinking about something stressful versus being there, or thinking about something abundant versus being there. Your body already just believes it's there. And so when you visualize and you see yourself working with the clients, you see yourself with the clients coming to you, you see yourself showing up and speaking on stage to your ideal audience, you see yourself getting out there and people really being drawn to you, you see yourself so fucking showing up in your life, that you see yourself rising together with your peers. You see yourself, like I could go on, right? Like, woo, you guys, you need to show up and visualize and believe it. And then you need to meet it. You can't just, be like, okay, this is what's going to happen, and then just not do anything, right? And say you're self-sabotage. So it doesn't work, right? So be sure to be clear about what's that vision. And then what will happen is the plan will come. What happens is we try to work backwards and overthink things. Think. How am I going to get there? How am I going to do that? Instead of, here's the vision. Okay, I'm feeling the pull. And I'm going to listen. I'm going to observe. I'm going to listen to myself and feel into what I'm called to move forward in. And yes, it's important to have a plan. But what I'm asking you to do first is to go from bottom up rather than top down, right? Don't think it through. Don't think it out, if that makes sense. I want you to feel it out first and then think it through. Okay? Then create the plan of action. And that's really how I support my clients. It's the inside out work. It's the visioning, being in your business, beingness in your business. This is about your soul guiding you, not your head. Our head is important, but we have 3 different engines: head, heart, and gut. And our head tends to be a bully. I'm speaking from personal experience. And in our head is our ego, our fears, are all the things that will keep us playing small, keep us in our comfort zone. And this is truly about you being able to step out of that and go, okay, thank you. It's not bad to have the inner critic. I mean, it helps us survive. But now it's like, okay, let me just listen to my higher self. Connects with source, connects with the universal energy, connects with life force, connects with the fact that we are all energy and we all matter simply because we live and we're here and we breathe. And what is it that you want to choose for yourself and how you want to show up? Do you choose to continue playing small? Do you choose to continue having money blocks? Or do you choose to show up and let people judge and not give a shit about it and show up anyway? That your people will resonate. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to show up. If you're not showing up, how will they know you exist? Don't block yourself. You're not giving yourself a chance. Another easy way to think about this is, if your best friend was sabotaging him or herself, what would you say to them? If they have the same sabotaging pattern, maybe they do, what would you say to them? Then say that to yourself and do that for yourself. So much easier to give other people advice, right? Because we're not in it. So think about it as if you are your own client when you're in sabotage, and this is how you really start to leverage on your own shit. Is like, well, you got a method, you're going to apply it to yourself, right? And here's the truth. We are born perfect, whatever perfect means. We are born worthy, and then shit happens to us. And that happens in relationships, right? People project shit onto us and we make meaning about it. And then we make meaning about our worth as children. And that's in our unconsciousness. And so it only makes sense that you heal, you get activated in relationship. And so relationships come in many different degrees, but the deepest, most real relationships where you're working with a professional to support you in holding space is deeply important. And I will never, ever change that in terms of what I preach about this. My husband and I are powerful only because we continue to do our inner work individually as well as together. And we have a coach. And so if you are like in this place of, well, I can't afford it, You're going to change that. Can you afford to keep living in scarcity, in survival mode? And that's how it was in your past. And that's what we're used to. This is trauma right here, right? You're used to, it's developmental trauma. You're used to living in that crisis, not just even mentality, but vibration. And anything that's outside of it, when it's like peaceful and it feels good, is like, holy fuck, I don't know what to do with this. I'm not comfortable. I'm going to come back here and be back in crisis. I used to be a marriage and family therapist. I saw that so much. And it was like an aha moment when the couple realized like, oh, I grew up this way. And you know, one spouse is always looking to pick a fight, because they weren't comfortable being in this peaceful, joyful place. And even Gabrielle Bernstein, one of my mentors, wrote in her book, Super Attractor, she talks about how people they want to feel good, but they don't allow themselves to stay feeling good. Can you guys resonate with that? If what I'm saying is resonating, just like drop me some like hearts, or like that's me. That's a good awareness. Like I'm going to change that, because you are worthy. You are worthy of feeling good. You are worthy of an abundant life. You are worthy of knowing your own power and embodying it and showing up. You are worthy. And the only thing that's stopping you is you. There's only one you. Yeah, sure, people do what you do, sure. But the alchemy of who you are, your experiences, your personalities, your strengths, your passion, your personal passions, your professional passions, like all of this is the alchemy of you. And no one else has that. You're like a snowflake or a star where there's no two that are alike. And your people are looking for you. Your people are waiting for you to show up, so you need to show up. Stop self-sabotaging. Stop telling yourself you can't do it, you don't have time, you don't have the money. It's already here. We live in a world of infinite amount of possibilities and abundance, and it's about you truly believing in yourself and seeing the possibilities and doing the work to feel and be an energetic, vibrational match. Breathe that in. I'm channeling a vibrational match. You are a vibrational match. So right now, you're a vibrational match for exactly the results you see in your life. Do you want to change that? You have been given opportunities. I have worked with some of you, and you have been given some opportunities to level up. Do you choose to continue leveling up, or do you choose to go back to what's comfortable, but not really serving you? You can't expect to continue expanding without continuing to implement the work. So you need to decide that every day you show up, and every day you show up in your inner warrior mind, body, spirit. And it starts with loving yourself. It starts with knowing your worth, and not just knowing it from this level, but vibrationally matching that you are worthy. Because when you vibrationally match that you love yourself, you are worthy, you trust yourself. And that's always an ongoing process, right? It's not black or white, okay, guys? Trust me. All right, every time there's an up level, guess who shows up? My saboteur, my inner critic. Me too, you guys, me too. Right? So when I'm preaching, I'm speaking to myself too. All right. And so I invite you, if this speaks to you and you feel called to level up, and I invite you to drop me some hearts, put an explosion sign, emoji, fireworks, all that good stuff, okay? And that's a sign that you are ready to level up. That's you claiming you're ready to level up. And then tell me how you're going to do that. How are you going to do that? And you guys have a tribe here, show up, you know, of course I would love to work with you. So if you feel called, even if you feel the fear, show up. All right. And I may not be the coach for you. That's okay. Find the coach that's right for you, that feels right for you, that you feel so pulled to work with. Show up. Show up. And if money's a thing right now, then don't let money be the thing. What you can do is Google, go on YouTube. There's lots of amazing things that you can use and listen to that will support you. I also have a self-love kit for $11.11, $11.11. If you haven't purchased it, you can ask me and I will send you the link. What it is an activation. So I go further into how to deeply get embedded. I have a meditation activation to support you in really feeling into your own inner warrior self, so that when self-sabotage comes up, here's the other step, is to have a plan, a love plan, a love attack plan, okay? And you'll attack your saboteur with so much love, with so much knowing of your own worth, that it doesn't take over anymore. And yes, at first it's gonna feel really not normal, really awkward, really foreign, and you're gonna question yourself, and that's normal, okay? Because anytime you're trying to make a new pattern, you are shifting things on a neurological level. So just like when you're first learning how to drive, we need to be hyper focused, both hands on the steering wheel, the radio off, right? Windows up, like just shh, I need to focus. And now those of you who can drive, you're like, whatever, music on, you're chatting on your Bluetooth with a friend, like you can do all of this stuff and it becomes autopilot, right? And so that's what I want for you guys, is to create autopilot for yourself in alignment of your biggest dreams. Create habits that are going to support you. And it does take time. So go and grab that self-love kit. If you feel called, it will support you. Get connected with a coach. Of course, I'm always available to see if we're a fit to work together. And let's get you showing up, getting out of your own way, and really creating the life and the business that you deeply desire. All right, my loves, I would love to hear what your takeaways are.